Fellow auto detailers, welcome to the show that features interviews with today's most successful auto detailers. This is the Auto Detailing Podcast. Here's your host, Jimbo Balaam.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to this episode of the Auto Detailing Podcast. I'm Jimbo, your host, and today we're going to talk about kind of a cool follow-up free software that you can use. So in my detailing business and kind of my business in general, I really like to scale as much as possible with systems and processes and kind of tools that I can utilize that really help me kind of run my business versus trying to hire someone right away. I think hiring someone right away, obviously for the physical side of things, is great if you can, but there's, I get the question all the time, like, what's the most important thing starting my detailing business? And it's like, man, first of all, there's so much, right? But I would encourage you to put a heavy emphasis on the business side of things and the operations side of things. So customer follow-up, lead generation, how you're going to get your next client, how you're going to follow up with the client that you're working on right now. All that stuff is super important. And there's a lot of cool tools that can help you with that. And one of those really cool tools is Housecall Pro. So if you go to housecallpro.com/ADP, it'll let them know that you're coming from me, and they're going to give you a free demo. And Housecall Pro is really where you can keep, it should be your home base for your customer database. And what's really cool about Housecall Pro, and this is not the point of this episode, it's something else, but just a quick word about Housecall Pro. You can keep pictures of your client's car, notes on, certain issues with the car or customer. And also you can have all the customer info as far as what service they got, how often. You can have recurring payments in there. You could take payments in there. I send automated postcards, follow-ups, thanking customers from there, all kinds of really cool stuff. So housecallpro.com/ADP will get you there. But you may be like me, and I don't have just a detailing business going on. I have a podcast, a YouTube channel, some consulting services, and a slew of other things that I do kind of behind the scenes, which is why sometimes I lag on videos or podcasts or whatever. So I use my notes and my phone and my Google Calendar, and I try to have like all these systems in place and really focus on automation and things and softwares to help me out, and apps and all that. And I stumbled across this one that's completely free. I believe they have a paid option. I don't use the paid option. They do. I'm looking at it right now. They do have a paid option, and some pretty big brands use it. In fact, I didn't know this. Oh yeah, they do. They definitely have paid plans. Holy smokes. So their starter plan, which I don't use, and I use their free version, but their starter plan starts at $40 a month. Again, you don't have to use this. And their enterprise solution is $3,200 a month. So I'm definitely not using their enterprise or even their starter. I'm using simply the free version, and that is it's called Hubspot. Hubspot. It's just hubspot.com. And what's really cool and what I really like about it, and the reason that I use it, is you can, of course, keep track of your clients. You can keep track of your contacts. But some of the stuff that I do involves not necessarily cold calling, but just like relationship management, right? So yes, relationship management, not just in my detailing business. So Housecall Pro is a great CRM for short, or customer relationship management software, which that's what I use strictly for my detailing business. But like I just said, I do a multitude of things, both professionally and personally. So I needed something that could kind of transcend and help me across the board with that. And in fact, I was talking to someone at Housecall Pro, and as a business, they use HubSpot. So that's not why I think I saw their ads, or I don't even really know how I found out about HubSpot. But HubSpot is really cool for and I use it for one particular thing, and that's to create task or follow-up reminders for myself. So let me give you context of how I use it. I have a phone meeting, right? And in that meeting, we talk about 18 different things, and I need to remember to do 6 of those 18 things. So what I will do in HubSpot is I will go into my dashboard, go into that customer, and I could take notes in that each customer has a file, and I will take notes. And when I say customer, it may be client, it may be other business that I'm talking to. I do a lot of B2B business. And so anyway, in that customer file, I'll go take notes on that meeting, which you can do very easily. Track how you had that meeting, phone, in person, email, whatever. And then I will create a task with stuff that I need to do, and then with a due date of when I want that task to happen. So, for example, I do a podcast, right? And I had this idea to record a podcast about HubSpot, right? So, record a podcast about the system that I'm using to remind myself to do a podcast, right? And also because you can't do the task when you think about them, it's good to just kind of get it off your plate. So what I did was, today's Friday when I'm recording this. This will go out on a Monday. And so I recorded a task on Tuesday to remind myself on Friday morning at 8 a.m. to record a quick tip or a podcast about HubSpot and how I use it. So then on Tuesday, I could get that off my plate. I totally forgot about it. Doesn't matter anymore. It's checked off. I know I'll get a reminder. And then what's really cool is it will integrate with your Gmail. And so I have it hooked up to my Gmail account. So on Friday morning at 8 a.m., I actually got an email reminder from myself to record a podcast about HubSpot. Now I can check off that I already did it. I can kind of push it off into the future. I could do whatever. But it really helps kind of get that brain dump and get everything out so you can clear your head. You're not having to remember like, okay, record that podcast on Friday, 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 or follow up with that customer. And you could put it out for indefinitely. So how I would use it if you're doing it for your detailing business is I would create a customer profile and I would put a reminder to follow up with John Smith on, August 5th at 9 a.m. about the detail, right? And then you can totally forget about it because maybe it's 2 or 3 months in the future, and boom, that email will pop up to remind you, and then you can do it. Again, efficient, right? What's also very cool is because it's synced to your QuickBooks, or I'm sorry, not QuickBooks, that's another thing. Because it's synced to your Gmail, when you send an email, it will track that email in HubSpot for you. So you can see if that person opens the email, how many times they've opened the email, have they responded to the email, all those things. So if you're sending in purchase orders for coatings, right? And maybe you're running low on coatings, so you really need to make sure that they're getting that email. Well, instead of you having to follow up with like, did you get my email? And I wonder if they got it. Did it not send? And then if you're like me, you start thinking like, oh my gosh, did something mess up and I didn't send the email and it went into my drafts, or I did it from my phone, blah, 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 right? You never know. Well, with HubSpot linked to your Gmail, you actually get notified when that person opens that email. And if you send it to multiple people on an email chain, it'll actually tell you who opened the email. So that's a really cool feature, because then people can't say, I never received your email, because you can go back and say, actually, you did, and you even opened it. So boohoo. So anyway, just a kind of a quick one that I wanted to, a lot of times I try to talk candidly about systems and processes that I'm using, and HubSpot is just one of those that I really, really like. And so maybe you'll check it out. Again, it's free. They have paid versions if you want to do that, but I'm just using the free one for now, and it seems to be more robust than I can even do with all the features for free. So pretty happy with that. Just thought I'd share. Hope you guys enjoyed that episode. I will catch you on the next one. See ya.